Hello everyone. We'll be doing topic today solutions. Now solutions is nothing but a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. Okay? So solution is nothing but a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. For example, sugar dissolved in water, the common solution we make. Okay? Now substances, we can call them as components. So solution is basically made up of two components, solute and a solvent. Solute is generally the minor component of the solution which dissolves in solvent, and solvent is the major component of the solution which dissolves solute in it. So solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. So it consists of two components, solute and solvent. Solute is generally minor component of the solution and it get dissolved in solvent. Solvent is the major component of the solution which dissolves solute in it. Now on basis of number of component, depending upon number of component, 2 component, 3 component, 4 component, solutions are classified as binary solution, ternary solutions, quaternary solutions, and so on. Okay, so on basis of number of components, solutions are classified as, if there are 2 components, we call them as binary solution. If there are 3 components, we call them as ternary. It is not trinary, but it is ternary, keep in mind. And if there are 4 components, we call them as quaternary solution. Now, generally in our syllabus, we are going to deal with only binary solutions, okay, in which there is one solute and one solvent. Now, do not copy notes. I'm going to send you the entire notes on WhatsApp according to the lecture, then you all can copy down from that, okay? So just listen. I'll repeat. Solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. Solution consists of two components, solute and solvent. Solute is a minor component of the solution which get dissolved in solvent, and solvent is a major component of the solution which dissolves solute in it. On basis of number of components, solutions are classified as binary, ternary, quaternary, and so on. In our syllabus, we are going to study only binary solution, which is made up of two components. One is solute and other one is solvent. Now, depending upon the phase, solutions are classified into 9 types. Gas solution, that is gas in gas. Solute is gas and solvent is also gas. Then solute is gas and solvent is liquid. It is called gas in liquid type of solution. Solute is gas and solvent is solid. It is called gas in solid type of solution. Then liquid in gas type of solution, liquid in liquid type of solution, liquid in solid type of solution, then solid in gas, solid in liquid, solid in solid type of solution. So we have 9 different type of solution depending upon the phases, whether it is solid, liquid or gas. Now in MCQ, this part is very, very important. They give you example and you have to tell what type of solution it is. For example, air. Now they ask you air, the solvent is. So you have to say gas. Solute is, again gas. Okay. Like nitrogen is the major component. So nitrogen will be called as solvent. Carbon dioxide, oxygen, inert gases, water vapor are the minor component and they will be considered as solute. So gas in gas type of solution, and in MCQ they ask you the solvent is, the solute is, and you should know the example. Then second one, oxygen in water, carbon dioxide in water, all aerated drinks. Now they ask you, in aerated drink, the solute is carbon dioxide, that is gas, and solvent is water, that is liquid. Is it clear? So your carbon dioxide in water, oxygen in water are the various examples. Now gas in solid. Now gas in type of solid solution is adsorption of hydrogen on nickel, platinum, palladium. Here adsorption of various gases on the surface of nickel, like hydrogen get adsorbed on nickel or platinum or palladium. So here the solvent is solid, but solute is gas. Okay, so hydrogen is solute and nickel, platinum, palladium are solvent. Now can anybody give me example of liquid in gas? Liquid in gas type of solution. Come on, try this. Liquid dissolve in gas. Come on, give me an example of liquid in gas type of solution.
Water vapor.
Yeah, very good, Rishabh. Water vapor in air. Okay. Water vapor in air is an example of liquid in gas type of solution. Come on, liquid in liquid. Anybody give me an example of liquid in liquid type of solution? Come on, anybody. Liquid in liquid type of solution example. Alcohol in water or organic solvent. Oil in water. Bashar, oil in water is not a solution. Solution, I told you, is a homogeneous mixture. Oil and water are not miscible. When two liquids do not dissolve in each other, we say they are immiscible. And two liquids, when they dissolve in each other, they are called miscible. Oil and water is not a solution. It is heterogeneous mixture. Is it clear? So example is alcohol in water, and very common example you see every day, milk in water. Okay, ink in water will do, Angad. Very good. So it is a solution. It is a homogeneous mixture. It should form a homogeneous mixture. Sugar, syrup, and water. Okay, will do. Anna? Okay. So ethyl alcohol in water or milk in water, we can take an example. Now give me an example. Liquid dissolved in solid.
Jelly.
Liquid dissolved in solid. Jelly. HCl and NaCl. Okay. HCl and NaCl will be other way around. NaCl get dissolved in HCl, not HCl and NaCl. Okay. But here the example will be amalgams. Okay. Amalgam means what? Mercury in silver. Mercury is liquid. It get trapped in silver. Sodium amalgam, mercury amalgam, zinc amalgam. Here amalgam means mercury. And mercury is in a liquid state. It dissolves in sodium. It dissolves in silver. Okay, so we get their amalgams. So this type of mixture is a homogeneous mixture. So liquid trapped in solid, keep in mind, very important. Various amalgam are example of liquid in solid type of solution. Now come on, give me an example of solid in gas.
Dust.
Solid in gas. Okay. Soot in air, correct. Sublimation of camphor in air is also correct. Very good examples. Okay. Dust in air. Generally, we'll not take dust in air here because dust and air becomes heterogeneous mixture. When the light falls, we have done adsorption and colloids. Okay, we have seen colloidal particle. So thus becomes colloidal particle in air. So camphor, soot, this will do in air. They form an homogeneous mixture. Camphor evaporates, sublimating substance. In air, the particles are not seen. It will become a homogeneous mixture. Okay. So solid in gas type of solution. Dust in air will not take it because it becomes heterogeneous. Ana? Solid in liquid, very easy. Come on. Solid in liquid type of
Sugar
solution.
water. Sugar water.
Muddy water will not do. Sugar and water will do. Starch also heterogeneous. Sugar and water will do. Various salt. So many salt are soluble in water. Copper sulfate, zinc sulfate, okay, sodium chloride. All these salts, most of them are soluble in water. So salt and water is very common example, very good one. Starch and muddy water becomes little slightly heterogeneous. Okay, so we'll not consider them. Muddy water heterogeneous. We can see two phases. Tang will do. Bashar, good. You're drinking Tang every day, I feel. Okay. Now, solid and liquid type of example, yeah, sugar or salt in water, okay? Sugar or salt solutions. Okay. Come on now, sugar and salt in water, example of solid in liquid type. Solid in solid type of examples. Solid in solid type, alloy is very good. Sugar and salt will not take Zen. Sugar and salt are not miscible. Stone alloy, stone cannot be taken. Alloys can be taken. Okay. So alloy is a very good example. Copper, zinc, copper, tin, brass, bronze, German silver. Okay, all these examples can be taken. Steel, very good. Steel can be taken. Okay, but stone is not an example. Salt and sugar is not an example. Salt and sugar will form heterogeneous mixture. We can see them very easily. Alloys are homogeneous mixture of two more metals. So metals and carbon in iron, that is called steel. That is an example of solid in solid type of solutions. Okay. Now in MCQ, they ask question, gold ring. Is a gold ring solution or not a solution? One of the HSC exam, they ask gold ring is a solution or not a solution? Solution. Then gold ring is a mixture of what? If you say it is a solution, it is a mixture of what? Gold and some other metal. What is that metal? Come on, tell me. It is correct. It is an alloy. Gold ring is an alloy. Copper. Very good, Zen. Always gold is mixed with copper to give a shape. If it is 100% pure gold, we cannot give a shape. It breaks. It is so very soft. So when you want to give a particular shape, you have to mix a copper in it. Okay. So we have that 22 karat gold. So that is why we use 22 karat gold for making ornaments, because it is impure gold. It has to mix with copper to give a shape. अगर उसमें copper mix नहीं करोगे तो उसको shape ही नहीं मिलेगा. Okay. So gold ring is a solution. Keep in mind. Then hydrated salt. Question is hydrated salts. Like we have a copper sulfate 10 water molecules, zinc sulfate 5 water molecules, whatever like that. We have water of crystallization. So what type of solution it is? What is solute and what is solvent in hydrated salt? Yeah, Rishabh, correct. Liquid in solid type of solution. So what is solute and what is solvent in that? Hydrated salt are example of liquid in solid type of solution. So what is solute and what is solvent? Then hydrogen नहीं है उसके अंदर. Solid is solvent. Yeah, Rishabh. Liquid, water gets trapped in salt. Water gets trapped in the salt. When you heat, water evaporates. Water of crystallization is lost. And we get powder. So they lose their color. You're getting it? So all hydrated salt, solid is solvent. Like salt itself is a solvent. And water gets trapped in it. They become like, diamond like crystals. So you can see there is a water trapped in that crystals. So water of crystallization is solute and salt itself is a solvent. And when you heat, they lose water of crystallization and they become white powder. White powder is left behind. Okay. I hope you all got this example. Okay, now we'll do further. We have dilute solution. Now, dilute solution means what? Solute is present in less concentration. Concentrated solution. Solute is present in very high concentration. Aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means always water is a solvent. And non-aqueous solution means there is any other solvent than water. So generally, solutions are referred like that. Dilute solutions means very less solute present. Concentrated solution means solute is present in higher concentration. Aqueous solution means you always dissolve a substance, or solute is always dissolved in water. So water will be a solvent. Okay. And non-aqueous solution means what? You have taken any other solvent than water. So then it becomes a non-aqueous solution. So you have to just remember all these terms. Okay, all these terms you should know. Solute, solvent, solution, dilute solution, concentrated solution, aqueous solution, and non-aqueous solutions. Next, we'll do ways of expressing concentration of solution. Now, most of this we have already done in our 11th standard, third topic. Okay, but here we'll just revise them. Now, ways of expressing concentration of solution is percentage by weight or percentage by mass or mass percentage. Okay, can anybody define this? You remember what was the definition or how we calculate percentage by weight? How we calculate percentage by weight? Mass of solute upon mass of solution into 100. Very good. Very good, Rishabh. Yeah, Siddharth. Very good. It is mass of solute upon total mass of solution into 100. Okay. Or we can write mass of solute upon solute plus solvent into 100. So we say define this: mass of solute present in 100 parts of solution. Mass of solute present in 100 parts of solution. Now you can take either both of them in grams or both of them in kilograms. Okay. So either you take both in grams or both in kilograms. Weight can be expressed in kilograms or grams. Huh? Grams or kilograms. Okay. So this, everybody followed this? Percentage by mass or mass percentage. It is mass of solute present per 100 parts by weight of solution. So here we have to take mass of solute upon total mass of solution. Solute plus solvent into 100. Come on, next one. Percentage by volume. Come on, anybody. Percentage by volume. How will you define this? Come on, same way, fast. Yes. Yeah, correct. Volume of solute upon volume of solution into 100. Great. Very good, Rishabh. Okay. So it is volume of solute per 100 parts by volume of solution. Volume of solute upon volume of solution into 100. Or volume of solute plus solute and solvent below into 100. Okay. So that is percentage by volume. Here also we can take volume of solute in milliliters or liters, any one of them. But both should be in same unit. Both should be either in milliliters or both should be either in liters. Third one, mole fraction. Anybody remembers mole fraction? What is mole fraction? How do we calculate mole fraction? Mole per liter, no Zen. Mole fraction is not mole per liter. Molarity upon volume is molarity. Not Rishabh, no. Mole fraction is defined as number of moles of one component upon total number of all the component present in the solution. Okay. For a binary solution, if there are two, one solute and one solvent, then mole fraction of A is number of moles of A upon total number of A and B both. Similarly, mole fraction of B is number of moles of B upon total number of moles of A and B both. Mole fraction has no unit. Now, how to find number of moles? Anybody have idea how to find number of moles? How to calculate number of moles? Mass upon molar mass. Very good, Aisha. Mass upon molar mass is number of moles. Okay. Mole fraction has no unit because it is ratio of moles upon moles. And sum of mole fraction is always 1. I told you many times example, if 1/3 glass is 1/3 filled with water, okay, or 1/3 is filled with alcohol, the remaining is water. So 2/3 is alcohol. So total will be always 1. So mole fraction is just a ratio, 1/3, 2/3, but total will be always 1. Okay. So number of moles is mass upon molar mass. So what is mole fraction? It is moles of one component to the total number of moles of each component in the solution. So if there are 3 component, then XA will be Na upon Na plus Nb plus Nc. You have to divide by all 3. If there are 4, then divide by 4. And number of moles कैसे find करना है? Mass upon molar mass. Okay. So that is mole fraction. Then next one we'll do is molarity. Come on, tell me what is molarity. Molarity is number of moles upon volume of solution in liter. Okay, correct. Okay, molarity is number of moles of solute present per liter of solution in 1 liter of solution. Molarity is number of moles upon volume. Number of moles is mass upon molar mass. Okay, so molarity can be written as mass of solute upon molar mass of solute into the volume of solution in liters. And unit of molarity is mole per liter, or 1 liter is 1 dm cube. I hope everybody remembers now. 1 liter means 1 dm cube. So mole per liter or moles per dm cube. Okay. So molarity is defined as number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of solution. Molarity is number of moles upon volume of solution in liter, but number of moles is mass upon molar mass. And therefore molarity is calculated as mass of solute upon molar mass of solute into volume of solution. But volume should be always in liters. Keep in mind out here. And unit of molarity is mole per liter or moles per dm cube. That is molarity. Next one. 1 molar is 1 mole dissolved in 1 liter of solution. Okay. So whenever you want to calculate number of moles, we have to do volume into molarity. 1 liter of 1 molar solution contain 1 mole of solute in it. Okay. Now normality. Now this is therefore only NEET JEE students. HSC students do not have normality. Okay, so they do not learn normality. Those who are giving only HSC, they are not appearing for NEET JEE, even MHCT. If they are not appearing for they are not appearing for NEET JEE only. They are appearing. Then only you have to do it. MHCT student also will not have normality. Okay. Now normality is number of gram equivalent of solute present in 1 liter of solution. Normality is gram equivalent upon volume of solution in liter. Now what is gram equivalent? Gram equivalent is mass upon equivalent mass. Now how to calculate equivalent mass? Now equivalent mass depends upon whether it is acid, base or salt. If it is acid, then equivalent mass is how many replaceable hydrogen ions it produces. Base, how many OH ions it produces, and salt, how many how much positive charge it carries. So equivalent weights vary according to whether it is acid, base or salt. So normality in general can be calculated as mass of solute upon equivalent mass of solute into volume of solution in liter. Okay. So mass upon equivalent mass into volume of solution in liter. 1 liter is 1 dm cube. Unit of normality is gram equivalent per liter or gram equivalent per dm cube. Okay. Now equivalent weight, I told you it is molecular weight. For acid, how many H ions? For base, how many OH ions? And for salt, how much positive charge it carries. So equivalent weight varies according to acidity, basicity or positive charge. Okay, that is how we calculate equivalent weight. And this is only for NEET JEE students. Equivalent weight is very important. We'll do MCQs on this particular part later. One normal is 1 gram equivalent upon 1 liter of solution. Okay. So 1 liter of 1 normal solution contain 1 gram equivalent of solute in it. Okay, equivalent weight. 1 gram equivalent means equivalent weight. Okay. Next one, molality. It is not molarity, it is molality. I think we have done molality also. If anybody remembers, what is molality? Come on, give me an answer for molality. Moles of solute upon mass of solvent in kg. Very good, Amruta. Rishabh, very good. Okay, good. You all are remembering all this. Very, very nice. Okay, very nice. So molality is moles of solute present per kg of solvent. Okay, not solution. It is present per kg of solvent. Very good. Bashar, it is way of expressing concentration. Like molarity. Molality is another way of expressing concentration. It is number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of solvent. Now how to calculate molality? See, number of moles of solute upon mass of solvent in kg. Okay, so number of moles. How to find number of moles? Mass upon molar mass. So molality can be calculated as mass of solute upon molar mass of solute, and your mass of solvent should be in kg. If you take mass of solvent in grams, then you have to multiply by 1000 in the numerator. Okay, so to convert gram into kilogram, we multiply by 10 raised to 3. Now unit of molality. Molality is mole per kg or molal. Unit of molality is mole per kg or molal. Okay, in brief, I'll revise all the ways of expressing concentration. Anna? See, we did molarity, that is weight by volume, normality, percentage weight, molality, and your percentage by volume and mole fraction. Yeah. Okay. Now percentage by volume. Huh? Now tell me, what is molarity? Definition. It is number of moles of solute present per liter of solution. What is normality? Gram equivalent of solute present per liter of solution. So they are called weight by volume, weight by weight, percentage by weight, mass of solute present per 100 parts by weight of solution. Molality, number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of solvent. Mole fraction, number of moles of one component upon total number of moles of all the component present in the solution. Percentage by volume, volume of solute upon 100 parts by volume of solution. Okay, now tell me out of this which depends on temperature, which is independent of temperature. Come on, which of these units will depend and which will not depend on temperature? Okay, molarity depends. Weight won't change by temperature. Yes, that's correct. Weight will not change. So wherever there is volume in denominator, wherever there is volume in denominator, that will depend on temperature. So molarity and normality are inversely proportional to temperature. So they both depend on temperature. All these three, percentage by weight, molality and mole fraction, are independent of temperature. Percentage by volume depend on temperature. So wherever there is volume in denominator, it depends upon temperature. So molarity and normality are inversely proportional to temperature. Percentage by weight, molality, mole fraction does not depend on temperature. And percentage by volume again depend on temperature. I hope it is all clear. Okay, so we'll stop here today. I'll send you all these notes on WhatsApp, but you all have to copy down in a fair book. Okay, and tomorrow we'll do another part of it called colligative properties. Now we don't have any numericals for this particular part in HSC, but NEET JEE we have to do numericals. Even in MHCT they can ask numericals on this particular part. Okay, but for HSC we don't have any numericals on ways of expressing concentration of solution. But you should know them, because in throughout the chapter we are going to use mole fraction, throughout the chapter we are going to use molality, even molarity we are going to use. So you should know all these terms well. I hope everything is clear up till here. Any doubts you can ask.